I have been introduced, so thank you so much for wonderful introduction. So I look after cybercrime in Delhi Police, and apart from that, I also look after technology vertical of Delhi Police, and licensing is another vertical of mine. Right. So the topic which has given to me is AI in cyberspace, Scourge and Saviour. So what is new about AI? We all know that ever since we started using World Wide Web, we started using internet, the cybersecurity also came along with it. We never realized that cybersecurity will take such a big, it will have such a big implication for all of us. We thought that initially World Wide Web started with, just sharing of information, data, articles among researchers, among academic institutions. Nobody realized that it will take the shape of internet and it will become so all-pervasive. And then nobody thought that cybersecurity becomes so challenging. But initially, cybersecurity, we were dealing with all wherewithal which we had. But with AI, completely changed the landscape of cybersecurity. Why? Any answer from you? Why we are talking so much about AI? Before that also we handled cybersecurity. I mean, if you talk about AI, if you ask me precise year, it was 2012. 2012 was the year when we started knowing AI the way it is. Before that, people talked about AI, but nobody bothered, because AI was not creating so much implication for society. But after 2012, we realized that AI has huge, huge potential, and last 10 years, we have seen the fruits of that. Everybody is reaping the benefits of AI, and now it is in a vertical takeoff mode. So I'll not dwell much on this. The first slide. So AI is a threat. At the same time, it is an opportunity. How it is a threat? Because AI is based on neural network, machine learning, and it has the huge capacity to adapt at the lightning speed. AI can act like an autonomous agent. Normally, before AI, we used to program for something, but that program was written once, and it will start working based on whatever was coded. But in AI, the new paradigm is that program itself will adapt according to the circumstances, according to the ecosystem. That potential was not there before that. And that's why the way programs have become smart enough to reinvent itself, to adapt to the threat vectors, and according to that, create a new kind of threats. And that, again, in a collaborated manner, in a federated manner, using millions of computers, millions of bots. That's why it's very, very challenging, very, very dangerous. But at the same time, AI has so much potential to create a threat for us. At the same time, it can come to us as a shield against all kinds of cyber threats. The computers and using machine learning, millions of bots, they are posing challenges. Those challenges cannot be addressed by human beings. Any number of human beings cannot tackle the huge amount of threats, because that's happening in real time using millions of nodes. So only AI can help us in creating that shield, and it will happen automatically. So we have to understand that it's a kind of tightrope walk. At one hand, one side, you have a lot of threats. On the other hand, same technology is coming to us as a savior. So the topic of today is basically based on these two contradictory aspects of AI, but now we know that AI has become so all-pervasive. It has become so much part of our life, we can't even think of our life without AI. So we have to accept it. We have to use it. And it's coming to us in the form of so many, beneficial aspects, everybody using the beneficial aspects of AI. So at this moment, we can't say that let's go back and redesign AI, make it more secure. It's not possible. So we have to march ahead with technology, making sure that the same technology can protect us from dangerous aspect, which is the cyber security, cyber threat, or cyber crime. So some recent case studies, I'll just share a couple of why AI-driven cyber attacks are more sophisticated, why it is more challenging to tackle. Earlier, we knew that viruses, malware, we knew that backdoors, all sorts of things. And we have good solutions in terms of intelligent IPS, IDS, intrusion detection system, intrusion protection systems. We had firewalls and all those things. But nowadays, firewalls, IPS, IDS cannot only be rule-based, because once you have set some rules, it will protect based on those rules only. Until you change the rules, it will not change. But nowadays, with AI-driven coding, we can make IDS, IPS, and firewall in such a way that it can, on the fly also, based on the data which is available, it can change the response mechanism. So response will be adapted according to the data which is coming, according to the threat which is coming. So that is adaptive response, which is possible only through AI. Because here the neural network, the pattern, the anomalies can be learnt in real time, which was not possible in the earlier database and rule-based mechanism, rule-based coding. So that is a new aspect of AI, but the problem is that the same AI is being used by cyber criminals. They are using generative AI, particularly chatbot, ChatGPT. GPT-4o has become very common these days. It is free, everybody using without making any payment. And that is a Copilot, GitHub Copilot. Using Copilot, malicious codes are being written in real time without applying much mind. And earlier, the same kind of malicious code used to take maybe weeks or maybe months. Now it is being written in real time. And all kind of nasty codes, all kind of permutation combinations are also possible. So these AIs are at the same time creating problem for us, but we can protect our system using same AI system. So deep locker, you are aware that deep locker is one system which is highly evasive. So what is the unique about AI? It will adapt to the forensics which we use at times to protect ourselves. To detect threat, we use forensics. But now AI can be used for creating anti-forensics. So it's a kind of, you can say it's a cat and mouse game. Sometimes you have the upper hand, but the other side, the same AI tool can be used by adversary to evade the shield, to evade the protection mechanism which has been created using AI. So it's like a war between AI and AI. So while using AI, the problem is that we have to be very much concerned about ethical aspects, because cyber criminals, definitely they may not be concerned about ethical aspects because they are out to commit crime. But as law enforcement agencies, we have to be very much concerned about fairness, accountability, and transparency. So that is a kind of challenge for us. It's a tightrope walk also. By ensuring fact, we have to protect citizens, we have to protect society. I think my time is up. I'll just wind up in a few minutes. So some scary statistics I want to share with you. 2025 annually, there is one estimate. There are many such estimates. There are so many, research, so many studies have happened, because how much, in economic terms, how much loss it can cause. Trillions of dollars. I mean, one estimate is that $6 trillion in 2025. That would be the cost of cybercrime, cost of cyber threat. So this is one estimate. I just want to give a sense of the kind of financial losses it can create. You all know that ransomware attack has become so common. government agencies worldwide, they have to pay huge amount as ransomware. In India also, there are many incidents. One incident, you are aware that in Delhi also, there was one incident, AIMS, where this had happened. And the problem is that while we are aware that AI is, making all these things quite affordable for cyber criminals, they have from the veil of secrecy, from the anonymity, they are committing crimes. Even catching the criminals becomes so difficult because it's a boundaryless crime. Sometimes it can be anywhere in the country or maybe sometimes anywhere in the world. So challenge is that how to coordinate with different law enforcement agencies within the country and outside. How to share data, how to share information, because any investigation related to cybercrime is basically at the crux, it's a sharing of data. And sharing of data has to happen almost in real time, because there are certain signatures which would be lost once there is a timeout. For me also is a timeout. So how to mitigate? So AI in cyber security, you can see the various kinds of phishing detection, behavioral aspect can be found, because even how criminals are making clicks, giving input to a particular system, those signatures, those patterns can be very beautifully learned by AI. This is not possible by any database-based system or maybe any rule-based system. So that kind of system can be learned as time goes by, as new and new kind of threat vectors arise. This is possible only through AI, not by any other kind of system. So protection also is possible through using beautiful models, which is nowadays possible through AI. So we have to adopt the best practices available globally, best practices being used by law enforcement agencies across the world. There are some kind of framework under UN also where this is possible, sharing of information, sharing of best practices. Maybe it is possible that some protocols can be developed, some standards can be developed, which can be followed by all agencies concerned. So I was talking about fairness, accountability, and transparency. So this is because we are civil society, all the stakeholders, industries, law enforcement, government agencies, we all have to be concerned about FAT, fairness, accountability, and transparency. We are already aware that Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which was passed last year, enacted last year, we have to follow the guidelines, the constraints, the kind of responsibility which has been entrusted upon all the agencies, particularly with respect to protection of personal data, personal digital data. And that's why it becomes so challenging for us, because cyber criminals are out to commit any kind of crime. They are using AI to make profile and all these things. But we have to, within the four walls of law, we have to operate. So what is the future trend? Future trend is sharing of best practices and tools and technologies. Now, problem is that forensic in AI, and particularly with respect to cybersecurity, is a research-driven area. And because when you have to protect society, we have to protect citizens, it's not that every industry which is into this area, they are making they are mass producing such kind of products. It's only very few agencies, few academic institutions who are getting into this kind of arena where how to protect, how to do forensics to identify bad actors and find the signatures. Such kind of research, such kind of technology is not very commonplace. It's not very much available off the shelf. So, and that's why we in law enforcement agency, we feel that there should be coordinated efforts by all stakeholders, particularly academia and law enforcement, industries, and civil society. So with this, I think I overshot my time. So thank you so much.